Imagine this. Envision, if you will, a formation of dozens upon dozens of American B-52 Stratofortresses. Those iconic, legendary bombers that are not only known for their impressive size and distinctive profile, but also for their formidable nuclear capabilities. These warplanes, intended for long-range strikes and strategic bombing missions, are now roaring through the vast sky, barreling towards the Korean peninsula as they move at full speed. This is not just a rehearsal or a simple military exercise. It represents a highly significant and real-world military maneuver. In fact, this isn't a drill from the Cold War era that has been dusted off and executed. This very event actually took place only a few weeks ago, in July of 2025. It was an event that echoed through the political and military spheres, sending palpable shockwaves of alarm and unease throughout the capital of North Korea, Pyongyang. The implications of such a display of air power are staggering and certainly not lost on the North Korean regime. Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into current global events and military developments. Today, we are set to thoroughly analyze and break down the massive and compelling demonstration of US-led air power that has triggered a fierce reaction from North Korea, leading them to scream bloody murder in response. Their government has reacted with threats of overwhelming countermeasures, which hints at a potentially dangerous escalation in the already fraught tensions on the Korean peninsula. So, stick around for this in-depth discussion. We have a wealth of compelling footage that captures the full scale of this military operation, detailed maps that illustrate strategic positioning and movements, and insightful analysis that sheds light on the ramifications of this critical escalation in international relations. Prepare for an eye-opening experience that will provide you with a clearer understanding of the potential consequences of such military displays in this tense geopolitical context. On July 11, 2025, the expansive skies surrounding Korea transformed into an impressive arena that showcased sheer military might and aerial prowess. The events that unfolded on this significant day were pivotal not just for military operations, but for international relations and regional security dynamics. Here's an in-depth look at what transpired. US B-52H bombers the enormous and iconic B-52H Stratofortress bombers, known for their longevity and capability, were deployed from the Minot Air Force Base, located in North Dakota. These formidable aircraft were not simply making a routine appearance. Instead, they were operating out of Andersen Air Force Base in Guam as a crucial part of a Bomber Task Force (BTF) deployment aimed at demonstrating U.S. commitment to allies and deterrence against potential adversaries in the region. The serial numbers assigned to these bombers verified their identity as part of the nuclear-capable fleet of the United States Air Force. While the U.S. emphasizes that both nuclear and conventional variants of B-52s may participate in such operations, the presence of nuclear-capable aircraft signals a serious commitment to maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific area. Trilateral Escort in a landmark development for 2025. These B-52s were accompanied by fighters from key American allies during this particular operation, marking a significant enhancement of collaborative military efforts. The aerial formation included Japan *2 Mitsubishi F-2 fighter jets joined the B-52s, which serve as Japan's advanced version of the F-16 fighter jet. These aircraft represent a melding of high-tech capabilities and agile performance, reflecting Japan's dedication to maintaining regional security and enhancing the tactical synergy between Japan's self-defense forces and their U.S. counterparts. South Korea similarly, 2 KF-16 Fighting Falcons were part of this exceptional escort. The KF-16s, built upon the well-regarded F-16 Fighting Falcon design, are modernized versions that integrate advanced avionics and weaponry, showcasing South Korea's commitment to reinforcing its air defense and partnering with U.S. forces in demonstrating military readiness. Location the intricate flight formation traversed the vast expanse of the East China Sea, positioning itself strategically west of Japan's Kyushu Island and just off the coastline of South Korea's Jeju Island. This geographical positioning was significant. It sent a clear and unequivocal message to both allies and potential adversaries in the region. From this vantage point, the collaborative military presence was not merely a demonstration of strength, but also an affirmation of solidarity among the allied nations, underlining their collective resolve to uphold security and stability in a fluctuating geopolitical landscape. The convergence of such powerful forces in this operational context highlighted not only the technological capabilities of contemporary military assets, but also the importance of alliances in managing the complexities of modern defense scenarios. Why this shocked North Korea? The response from Pyongyang was not one of simple acknowledgement. In fact, it was quite the opposite. North Korea did not take this recent military drill lightly. They erupted with a chorus of outrage. Within a remarkably brief time frame of just 48 hours following the occurrence of the drill, North Korea's defense ministry was quick to convey its frustration and anger through a vehement statement reported by state media outlet KCNA. This statement was filled with pointed rhetoric and served as a clear indication of how deeply the regime perceived this military exercise as a significant threat to its national security. Officials labeled the military drill an irresponsible act, emphasizing their view that such activities were not just provocative, but also reckless in the context of the fragile peace on the Korean peninsula. The language employed was deliberately chosen to stir emotions and reflect the seriousness of their stance. Additionally, they described the actions of their perceived adversaries as a threatening military action, signaling that they believed these maneuvers were not benign, but rather indicative of hostile intent aimed directly at North Korea. Moreover, they escalated their rhetoric by characterizing the drill as a grave provocation, a term that suggests an action that could potentially lead to a sharp increase in tensions. They asserted that such provocations were pushing the already delicate situation on the peninsula to an extreme dangerous level, a phrase that vividly illustrates their anxiety about an impending conflict. This underscores the high stakes involved and reflects the regime's sentiments of being cornered into a position of increased vulnerability in the face of military posturing. Lastly, North Korean officials made a firm declaration regarding their position on national sovereignty. They explicitly claimed that it was their just sovereign right to take countermeasures against such military exercises. This assertion not only seeks to justify any potential retaliatory actions, but also aims to rally domestic support by framing North Korea as a nation compelled to defend itself against external aggressions. The insistence on the legitimacy of their countermeasures highlights a broader message about their commitment to national defense and an unwavering stance against what they perceive as encroachments on their sovereignty. Through this statement, North Korea sought to convey a powerful narrative of resilience and determination in the face of perceived threats. Why such intense rage and frustration? There are three primary reasons that can shed light on this explosive reaction. 1. The B-52 symbolism *, the B-52 Stratofortress, an iconic military bomber, has long stood as the ultimate emblem of the United States' commitment to nuclear extended deterrence. This strategic doctrine serves as America's formidable nuclear umbrella, providing a protective shield for allied nations such as Japan and South Korea in the face of potential threats. For the North Korean regime, the sight of this powerful bomber, particularly when flanked by aircraft from their adversarial neighbors, represents a deeply unsettling and nightmarish visualization of their most feared scenario coming to life. The mere presence of the B-52 is not just a show of force. It symbolizes the unwavering resolve of the United States to defend its allies with decisive military might, further amplifying the sense of vulnerability felt by Pyongyang. 2. Trilateral unity *, the recent joint military operations signify more than just coordinated flights. They mark the third such collaborative exercise conducted in 2025 alone, following similar drills in January and June of the same year. This consistent pattern of military cooperation underscores that the alliance between the United States, Japan, and South Korea, which was solidified during the landmark Camp David summit in 2023, is both active and resilient. Despite the historically fraught tensions that have existed between Japan and South Korea, this alliance showcases an unprecedented level of unity among these nations. Kim Jong-un has long sought to exploit divisions within this triad of powers, hoping to weaken their collective stance against his regime. The successful execution of these operations demonstrates that their diplomatic ties and military cooperation are indeed stronger and more cohesive than ever, sending a clear message of solidarity to any potential aggressor. 3. Timing and capability. The timing of this military display is particularly significant, as it occurred just days before an important meeting of the defense chiefs from the United States, Japan, and South Korea, which was set to take place in Seoul. This timing appears to be a calculated power play, signaling to both allies and adversaries that they are prepared and unified. The capabilities of the B-52H bomber further enhance the message being conveyed. This aircraft is a formidable powerhouse, capable of carrying up to 20 nuclear cruise missiles or an impressive 70,000 pounds of precision-guided conventional bombs. The sheer presence of such a capable platform effectively nullifies any sense of security that North Korea might derive from its air defenses. With the B-52H in the area, the North Korean regime understands that its defenses are essentially rendered obsolete against the might of the United States and its allies, reinforcing the concept that aggression will be met with overwhelming force. The bigger picture: bombers, Ukraine, and Trump's gamble. This situation transcends the confines of a single military flight. Instead, it is indicative of a vast, intricately organized strategy that has significant implications for international relations and security dynamics. Bombers on rotation. The United States has strategically maintained a near-constant bomber presence in the Pacific region since it transitioned from its previous model of permanent basing in Guam back in 2020. This shift has effectively turned the Pacific into a theater of demonstration regarding American military capability. Notably, the B-52 bombers stationed at Diego Garcia have now been joined by jets from Minot Air Force Base, thus significantly strengthening the overall rotating force. This rotation is not just about presence. It's a demonstration of readiness, showcasing a powerful and formidable fleet that is capable of deterrence in a highly consequential zone. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that B-1B Lancers also made their presence known in Japan not long ago, further underlining the United States' commitment to maintaining air superiority and a robust strategic posture in the region. Countering dual threats. The implications of these strategic flights extend beyond North Korea alone. While the primary aim of these operations may be directed at deterring North Korean aggression, they simultaneously send a powerful message to China about the United States' ability to project power and its unwavering resolve in maintaining strong alliances throughout the Indo-Pacific region. Such actions are meant to communicate clearly that the United States is prepared to confront challenges from multiple fronts, reinforcing not just military readiness, but also diplomatic ties with allies who share concerns regarding regional stability and security. North Korea's Ukraine gambit. The geopolitical intricacies of North Korea's actions cannot be ignored. Pyongyang finds itself deeply entangled with Russia, with U.S. intelligence reports estimating that more than 10,000 North Korean troops have already been sent to fight alongside Russian forces in Ukraine. As alarming as this figure is, there are potentially 30,000 additional troops on the horizon. The meeting between Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, just after this bomber flight, serves to reaffirm the notion of unconditional support, between these two nations. The United States, in this context, is making it explicitly clear that any support that Russia extends to North Korea, or vice versa, will not provide Kim with immunity from the repercussions of his actions. This situation exemplifies the complexity of international alliances in an era where military and political objectives are intertwined. Trump's shadow. Meanwhile, the specter of former President Donald Trump looms large over these developments. Despite Trump's earlier claims of having forged a great relationship with Kim and his expressed desire for a framework to normalize relations, the reality is that his administration is not merely passive, but is actively overseeing these highly provocative military drills. This stark contrast indicates that diplomacy appears to have taken a back seat to military posturing. The choice to proceed with these exercises suggests that the broader strategic priorities of the nation have shifted towards readiness and confrontation rather than negotiation and ease, raising questions about the future of diplomatic engagement with nations like North Korea. In summary, the current geopolitical landscape is defined by a series of calculated maneuvers that reflect an ongoing struggle for influence and stability in the face of emerging threats. The U.S. military's activities are not isolated events, but are part of a larger strategy that seeks to navigate the complexities of global politics while reinforcing commitments to allies and countering adversarial forces. What happens next? North Korea's looming response. In the wake of recent provocations, it is essential to recognize that North Korea has a long-standing reputation for never allowing a slight or provocation to pass without a response. This pattern of behavior is deeply ingrained in the nation's military and political culture, leading us to anticipate several key actions in the near future. Missile tests. There is a notably high probability that we will witness ballistic missile launches directed toward the waters adjacent to Japan or South Korea within weeks. Such a response not only serves as a demonstration of their military capabilities, but also acts as a fierce reminder of North Korea's defiance in the face of international pressure. These tests may potentially include the unveiling of advanced technologies such as hypersonic glide vehicles that were trialed last year, highlighting both their engineering sophistication and their commitment to enhancing their strategic deterrent. Escalated rhetoric. In addition to physical demonstrations of military might, we can expect an intensification of hostile rhetoric from the North Korean regime. This could include a slew of threats involving overwhelming force and ominous warnings regarding their nuclear deterrence policy, which will likely escalate dramatically. This climate of heightened tension aims to reinforce the regime's narrative of strength and resolve, while simultaneously attempting to rally domestic support by portraying external enemies as imminent threats. Military posturing. The possibility of large-scale troop maneuvers, artillery displays near the demilitarized zone (DMZ), or even the testing of new ballistic missiles or satellites masquerading as space development initiatives should also be taken into account. Such military posturing serves a dual purpose. It not only showcases North Korea's capabilities, but also sends a clear message to its adversaries about the regime's readiness to respond to any perceived aggression with force. This kind of posturing is often used by North Korea as a political tool to solidify Kim Jong-un's image as a strong leader capable of protecting national sovereignty. The risk of miscalculation in this volatile environment is alarmingly high. While the United States and its regional allies assert that their military drills are largely defensive in nature and contribute to stability in the region, the North Korean perspective is starkly different. They interpret these military exercises as rehearsals for potential invasion, fueling their belief that an aggressive response is necessary for their survival. Given that Kim's nuclear arsenal is not only expanding, but is also coupled with his military forces actively involved in support roles in unconventional conflict zones like Ukraine, any countermeasure that he orders in retaliation could quickly escalate into a larger regional crisis. The stakes are therefore exceptionally high, with a delicate balance of power at risk of tilting due to miscalculations on either side. July 11, 2025, was not merely another routine military exercise in the ongoing saga of global geopolitics. It served as a vivid and unsettling reminder that the Cold War, while often thought to be a relic of the past, has never genuinely concluded in the Asian theater. Instead, it has transformed, taking on new dimensions and complexities that reflect the changing landscape of international relations. The spectacle of nuclear-capable B-52 bombers, with their immense wingspans and formidable presence, roaring through the skies in formation, accompanied by the sleek and agile fighter jets of both Japan and South Korea, demonstrates a powerful show of force and solidarity among these nations. This dramatic display of military might is not just a random show of aggression. It symbolizes the new, high-stakes trilateral alliance that has been strategically cultivated between these countries. The alliance aims to create a unified front that not only seeks to contain the erratic behavior of Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, but also strives to provide a counterbalance to the increasingly assertive posture of China in the region. The complexities of these relationships underscore the reality that the geopolitical chessboard in Asia is as precarious as ever, with nuclear deterrence playing a central role in the calculations of both allies and adversaries alike. As these nations engage in coordinated military activities, they are sending a clear message about their commitment to regional stability and security. Their joint operations mark a turning point, emphasizing their readiness to respond to provocations and the ever-present threat of conflict on the Korean peninsula. This bolstered trilateral cooperation reflects a broader understanding that the dynamics of power in Asia are shifting, and traditional strategies must evolve to meet new challenges head-on. The implications of such military maneuvers extend beyond just deterrence. They also serve to reassure domestic audiences and bolster national pride, reinforcing the notion that these countries are willing to stand firm against threats to their sovereignty. As tensions continue to rise, the collaboration among Japan, South Korea, and the United States is indicative of a united front, signaling to Kim Jong-un and other powers in the region that their actions will not go unchecked. Accordingly, the events of that day in July should be viewed not just as exercises in military preparedness, but as a significant chapter in the ongoing narrative of power struggles in Asia, emphasizing that while the Cold War may have evolved, its echoes are very much alive and resonating throughout the region. What do you think? Will Kim fire missiles next? Should the US keep sending B-52s? Sound off below. Smash that like button if this analysis surprised you. Subscribe for breaking military intel. And hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next update on the Korea crisis. Stay informed, stay safe.